today I'll be taking you through a Vinyasa Flow practice. It'll be quite strong, but loads of options, so give it a go and have a little fun. If you like the video, I would be really grateful if you could click that like button, subscribe to my channel and spread the word to anyone who you feel may enjoy the classes as well. I really appreciate it. So let's get on with our practice. So take the knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, and bring the forehead down towards the ground. Stretch the arms wide down the length of the mat, feeling a slight stretch in the underarms. Sit bone comes towards the heels. Let's close down the eyes and start taking a few big belly breaths. Take the deepest breath that you've done all week. Inhale through the belly, fill it up, feel it against the thighs. And as you exhale, let the breath leave the body completely. Inhaling, big belly. Exhale completely. Start to bring a count to the breath. So inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping that breath count in your mind, start to take the fingers and the hands towards the right hand side of the mat, stretching out on the left hand side of the body. Still in child's pose, sit bones still towards the heels. Coming onto fingertips if you want to deepen that stretch. Moving onto the left hand side. Coming back to center. Come onto fingertips. And start to walk the hands back towards the knees. Coming to seated. Let's come onto our hands and knees. And let's invite a bit of movement through our hips. So this might start as little circles, coming clockwise. And these circles might grow bigger. You might start going to the other side. And as we move slowly and steady through these movements, they might start to change from standard circles to just movement that our body wants to take. So you can stay with your big circles, with your hips or your little circles, or maybe it's more wiggles, taking weight into hands and knees. But whatever it is, find a little playfulness in it. And if you find an interesting point, maybe you want to explore it. Keep that playful movement for a few more breaths. And then when we're done, coming back to tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, hips underneath or on top of knees. We'll start to take a few pelvic tilts. On the inhale, belly comes down, chest comes through the arms, chin comes up. On the exhale, tuck the chin, lift the chest, lift the belly. Inhale, belly comes down, chest comes forward, chin comes up, press through the palms, press through the tops of the feet. Exhale, tuck the chin, lift the chest, lift the belly. 2 more in your own breath count. And coming back to a neutral spine. We're tucking the toes under, we're lifting the knees off a couple of inches off the mat and holding here. Engage through your core. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Send sit bones back towards the sky. Coming into downward dog. So readjust your hands and your feet if you need to. Find that upside down V. And take lots of movement in this downward dog. It might be the first one for you today. Deep, generous bends in the knees. Maybe together, maybe one by one. Stretching out any tightness that you feel in the hamstrings. Coming high on the tiptoes. And then bending the knees, sending the belly towards the thighs, then lower down the heels. Start walking the toes up towards the hands. Bend your knees if you need. When they get there, grab opposite elbows. Hang the head, micro bend in the knees, and sway from side to side. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Then unwind the hands, start peeling the spine up. Vertebrae stacking on vertebrae. All the way until you're standing up. Head is the last thing. And we're here. And we're up. Come to stand at the top of your mat. Find your mountain pose for today. So maybe big toes together, heels slightly apart. Maybe the feet are hip distance. Lift all the 10 toes off of the mat. Spread them wide. Ground them down one by one. Find that big surface area that helps you feel grounded and stable. Hands come down to the side. Gaze ahead. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward, palms to the mat, bend the knees. Inhale, hands to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step the right foot back, followed by the left into plank, drop the knees, untuck the toes. Lower the whole body down, elbows close to the body, all the way down, steady. Peel the chest off the mat, coming into baby cobra. Forehead comes down, press through the palms, sit bones back towards the heels, tuck the toes, lift into downward dog. Keep movement in the dog as we did before. Stretching out those hamstrings. Waking up those legs. One more breath. And come to tiptoes, bend the knees, look between the palms, step the right foot forward, followed by the left. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees. Root through your feet as you lift your arms all the way up. We're going straight back down. Exhale, hinge at the hips, palms to the mat. Inhale, hands to shins or by the side of the body, lengthen the spine. Plant the palms, set the left foot back, set the right foot back into plank. Either drop the knees or come with me, high plank, Hover lower down to low plank. Come onto the tops of the feet, press through the palms, upward facing dog. Send the sit bones back towards the sky, coming over the feet, downward facing dog. Press through the index finger and the thumb. Energize from the fingertips all the way up, through the arms, through the shoulders, all the way up to the hips. One more breath here together, inhaling and exhale. Bend the knees, come to tiptoes, look between the hands, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands come to the sides or the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, lower the head. Root through the feet, lift your arms all the way up. We're going straight back down once again. Hinge at the hips, palms to the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or hop it back. Lower down through your chaturanga. Coming into upward dog or baby cobra. And everyone meeting downward facing dog. Come high on the tiptoes, bend the knees, send the tummy back to the thighs, and then lower down the heels. Everyone come forward into plank. Bend the knees, send the sit bones back, ripple back to downward dog. Let's add the breath to it. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, bending the knees, rippling back. One more time, inhale like water coming forward. Exhale, rippling back. Come to tiptoes, bend the knees, look between the palms. Step or hop it to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands come to the side, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift yourself all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Drop the arms by the side and take 2 breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, sigh out through the mouth. Inhaling, exhale. Scoop the hands down and up, sitting into chair. Holding here, lengthen the spine, sit a little deeper. Fold forward, palms come down to the mat. Hands come to shins, lengthen the spine. Take the palms down to the mat again. Step back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, baby cobra. Come over the feet, downward facing dog. Right foot comes up towards the sky. Squeeze the inner thighs together, lift that right foot a little bit higher, still pressing through both palms evenly. Right knee comes towards the nose, right thigh close to the belly. Place the right foot in between the hands. Find your stability. Fingertips come off of the mat, hovering slightly, then use your core and leg strength to bring yourself up into high lunge. Draw left hip forward, right hip back, level hips. Take a few breaths here. Then take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Start to take the fist down towards the mat, opening up through the chest. Maybe taking a bend in that back knee, opening up. Taking a breath here. Come back to a neutral spine. Step the left foot in slightly, ground the left foot. Puff out the chest, then we're folding forward, coming into humble warrior. Right shoulder comes into the inside of right knee. Draw the hips back to the center line. Arms and fists coming overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up, unwind the hands. Take it back to high lunge. Open out the arms wide, ground the back foot to the short edge of a mat, parallel to the short edge of a mat, warrior two. Deep bend in the front knee. Our hips are neutral, we're not jutting over either side. Engagement in the thighs, the glutes, the core. And gaze towards the right middle finger. Left hand comes down to left thigh. Flip the right palm up, lift the right hand up above the head. Maybe coming a bit further back into reverse warrior. Left hand can come round, binding at the top of the thigh. Option to stay here or come with me. Hand is in bind or take the hand onto the left hip. We're coming into half moon, so weight starts to come into the right foot. Right hand comes down to the ground, left foot rises up. Press through the back left heel and strong in that standing foot. Either keep the hand in the bind or lift the left hand up towards the sky, opening the chest out to the side of a room. If you want to go deeper and play a little more, take the fingertips off of the mat or take a bind with the back foot. Slowly release, coming back to warrior two. Start to bend in that through the back knee, back left knee, coming into Skandasana, ninja squat on the left hand side. On the heel of the right foot, left sole of the foot is on the mat, hands are at heart center or they can be down on the mat. Strong engagement through the core here, not just sitting down onto the mat. Then take the ninja squat to the front, left palm comes down to the mat next to the right foot. Lift the right arm up towards the sky, coming into side twist. Squeeze through the inner thighs. Feeling it on the glute, the right glute. Then frame the right foot, step it back to plank or three-leg plank. Lower down through chaturanga, coming forward into upward facing dog. Send the sit bones back towards the sky, downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths or come with me with some ripples. Come forward into high plank. Bend the knees, ripple back, downward facing dog. Forward into high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, send the sit bones to the sky. One more time, high plank. Exhale, like water rippling back. Moving to the left hand side, left foot comes up towards the sky. Level those hips, squeeze the inner thighs together, lift the left foot a little higher. Then take left knee towards the nose, thigh close to the belly. Place it in between the palms. Find your stable foundations. Hover the fingertips off of the mat slightly. Then lift the arms all the way up, high lunge. Keep those hips level. Press through that back heel. And take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers the other way so it feels a little funky. Then start drawing the fist down towards the mat, opening up the chest. Feel the lift in the upper section of the sternum. Maybe bending that back knee closer towards the mat. Coming up to neutral, step that right foot in slightly, ground the foot. Whoop. Keeping the hands interlaced behind you, left knee is bent. We're hinging at the hips, coming into humble warrior on the left hand side.
Left shoulder comes onto the inside of a left knee. Hands come overhead. Keep coaxing those hips back to the center line. We're not hanging out on the left hand side. One more breath here, inhaling and exhale. Use the next inhale to draw yourself all the way back up, unwind the hands, lifting into high lunge. Then open the arms wide, ground the back foot, warrior two. So find your back, your left, your warrior two on this side. I'm going to switch round. So find your warrior two on the left hand side. Really rooting down on the edges of that back foot and keeping a deep bend if possible in the front knee. One more breath together here. Then take the right hand down towards the right thigh. Flip the left palm over. We're coming into reverse warrior. Option to stay here. Take the bind with the right arm onto the hip crease of the left thigh. And we're staying here, or we're coming into half moon on the other side. So start to take the weight into the left foot. Maybe hopping slightly on the back foot. Lifting the right foot up towards the sky. Parallel to the edge of the mat. And the left hand is about a few centimeters in front of the left foot. Keep the bind or lift the right arm up towards the sky. And open the chest towards the side of the room. Strong in that standing leg and really strong in that lifted leg. Press that foot against an imaginary wall. And start to lower yourself down gently. Back into warrior two. Start bending into that back knee, coming into a ninja squat, skandasana to the back of the mat, towards the right knee. Keep it high, keep it engaged. Then fingertips either on the ground or at heart center. We're coming in towards the front of the mat. Right hand comes down next to left foot. Lift the left arm up towards the sky. Side twist. We're on the tiptoes of the back foot. Keep squeezing those thighs together. Then frame the left foot. Step the left foot back into plank. Either plank or keep the left foot lifted as you lower yourself down through chaturanga. Coming into upward facing dog. Roll over the feet, downward facing dog. Let's everyone lower the knees down towards the mat. Come to child's pose. Start to walk the fingertips up, coming back into downward facing dog. Come to tiptoes, bend the knees, look between the palms. Step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, lower down. Inhale, bend the knees, scoop the arms up into chair. And then come back to standing. Good work, guys. So come to the top of your mat. I'm going to show you from here. Find your mountain that felt grounded like it did earlier. And then we're going to start sitting back into chair pose, lifting our arms either side of our head. Make sure you can see the toes poking out from underneath the knees. Our tailbone is lengthened slightly rather than arching of the spine. And from From here, start to take the weight into the right foot, lift the left knee up, cross the left leg over the right thigh, and the left knee comes out towards the side into a figure of 4. Left foot is flexed, and we're staying here, maybe bending deeper if that's possible. And if you really want to go for it, you can take a half chair, so bring the chest parallel to the mat. Still a bend in that standing leg. Still flex through that left foot. Deep breaths here. Take the hands into heart center, lift up once again. And we're changing over. Sit back down into chair once again. Then lift the right knee up, cross it over the left thigh, coming into a figure 4. And take your options, either staying here, maybe sitting a little deeper, or coming into full half chair with figure 4 legs. Really feeling this on the right glute. Keep the bum lifted slightly. And take the hands into heart center, lift yourself all the way up and lower down the right foot. Shake it out. We'll take a vinyasa to seated. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to plank. You can go straight to down dog or move through vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Coming forward, upward facing dog. Send the sit bones back towards the sky, downward facing dog. Come to tiptoes, bend the knees, step or hop to seated. Take the soles of the feet onto the mat. Take the hands behind the sit bones, about 1 palm's distance. Pressing through the soles of the feet, we're going to lift into tabletop, reverse tabletop. Inhale, lift. Holding here for a second. Press through the palms. Keep gazing forward, don't let the neck back just yet. And then lower down. So we're going to do that again. Take the hands out behind the sit bones. We're lifting our hips up. Then we are crossing over like we just did standing. Our right foot over the left thigh. Coming into a figure, kind of a figure 4. Keep pressing through the palms, keep lifting the hips. And then we're lowering down, we're taking the sit bones towards the heels, walking our hands up slightly. We're going to stay here for a few moments. Opening out the right glute. Keep the right foot flexed and the right knee is coming out, open. And we're lowering down onto our forearms, onto our back, keeping our legs how they are. Grab underneath the thigh or underneath the knee and start to take the left knee towards the chest, right knee coming out towards the side, and maybe pressing the right elbow into the right thigh. And if you're going to do this, meet it with some resistance rather than just leveraging open the right thigh and the right knee. Then lower back down. Unwind the feet. Take the knees into the chest. We're rolling back up and going through that on the other side. So palms come behind the sit bones, feet are on the mat. We're lifting into reverse tabletop. This time we're crossing left foot over right thigh, opening up the left knee towards the side. Keeping our hips lifted, pressing through the palms, Just holding here for a little longer, then lowering the sit bones down closer to the heel, the right heel, and walking our hands up slightly. Keep the spine long here. We're just staying here for a few moments. Left foot is flexed. Then we're lowering down to forearms. We're lowering down to our back. Take the hands underneath the right thigh or underneath the right knees and start to draw the right knee in towards the chest, opening out that left thigh, left knee with the left elbow. If that's comfortable, if it's interesting, explore it. If not, just enjoy this reverse pigeon. Feeling that opening on the left glutes. And unwinding the hands, taking the soles of the feet to the mat. Take the hands either side of the body, gently brush the backs of the heels. Then check that the lower back is pressed down into the mat. And if it isn't, if you've got an arch, just engage the belly, allow the spine to touch the mat. Take hands either side of the body, start lifting the hips and the pelvis off of the mat slowly. Then start lifting each vertebrae up. And when you feel that you're at the top, the peak, you can't go any further, take the hands underneath, behind the back, interlace the fingers, maybe coming onto the tops of the arms. We're pressing into the heels and lifting the hips. Maybe squeeze the glutes. You might see that you're coming up a little higher. Then unwind the fingers, lower yourself slowly. Windscreen wiper the legs a little from side to side. And then option to come up into a bridge again, or you can take a full wheel. If you're taking a full wheel, take the palms either side of the head. And if you're confident, just lift up, pressing through the palms and pressing through the heels. If you are working on your full wheel, come to the top, the crown of your head first, and then push up. So if you're happy here, enjoy your full wheel, lengthening the arms. If you want to take some variations with your feet, please do so. And when you're ready, slowly lower onto the top of the head, coming down. Take the knees into the chest. If you're still up, have a little play still. And come down in your own time. Rolling onto the spine. When we're all back down, we're taking the soles of the feet to face the ceiling or the sky. Taking our hands onto the outside edges of our feet or just above the ankles and coming into happy baby. Draw the sit bones, the end of the tailbone down towards the mat. And kind of just hang out, swinging from side to side, massaging the spine. Maybe lengthening out one leg, maybe the other. Closing down the eyes for a second. And take the knees into the chest, give yourself a really big hug. Then cross the right leg over the left leg, maybe once or twice. And draw the knees towards the left-hand side of the body, or left-hand side. Then take the arms wider into a cactus, and the gaze comes over the right shoulder. Just taking a nourishing twist. Feel the massaging in the organs. Wringing out that bad energy. Bringing the legs back to center. Switching it round. So left leg over right leg. Maybe squidging the sit bone slightly towards the left hand side as you lower the right knees down. The knees down to the right side. And the arms are wider at cactus. The gaze is over the left shoulder. So our shoulders, both our shoulders might not meet the mat. Our knees might not meet the mat. It doesn't matter. It's the idea and the action of a gentle twist. Like I said, wringing out the bad stuff, making space for the good stuff. And slowly bring your knees back to center. Unwind them, give yourself a little hug. Maybe bring your nose and your head up to meet your knees. Roll around on the spine. And then one final squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then we're slowly lengthening our limbs out to our final pose, Shavasana. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Palms away from the body, hands away from the body, palms facing up. If you feel any twinging in your back, just take the soles of the feet onto the mat. As wide as the mat, allow the knees to come in to meet each other. And we're slowing down here, stopping any control of the breath, looking inward. Allow that soft rippling sensation of water start to work its way up from the toes, lapping at the feet, bringing a sense of relaxation, of accomplishment. Start to bring awareness back to the body, deepening the breath, maybe rubbing the fingertips together, wiggling the toes. Take a full body stretch, arms above the head, toes are pointed. And draw the knees into the chest and come over to one side. Take a few moments here. And use your palm to press yourself up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. Come to a comfortable seated position. Take the left hand on top of the heart.
Look inward to express gratitude towards yourself for taking this time to work on your body and your mind and your journey that you're taking with yoga. Take the hands together, thumbs come to the third eye. Thank you for coming to practice with me. Blink open the eyes, come meet me in the room. Thank you so much for coming to practice. I really, really appreciate it. And I really hope to see you again on the mat sometime soon. Have a great day.